Guys, I have a huge problem. A few months ago, I played a violent video game, and it turns out the media was right! Ever since I played Halo Combat Evolved for the original Xbox, I've been filled with pure evil! Now all I want to do is commit petty crimes and jostle the elderly in my spare time. How could I have found myself in such a predicament? When I was younger, shooters of any kind never really caught my interest. Most shooters are aimed at a more mature audience, and as a kid, I would only play wholesome, age-appropriate games. I was a platformer fan predominantly, and a Nintendo console owner, so even though I grew up in the golden age of Call of Duty and Halo, those games just weren't really a part of my life. But I did have several friends with Xboxes who were well versed in the world of 12-year-olds unleashing that slur they just learned with great frequency, Xbox Live, and whenever I visited those friends, I would get the chance to play Halo with them. We usually only had 4-player split screen, but I did get teabagged online a couple of times. I was absolutely terrible at these games and would frequently be the worst performing player no matter the context, but even though I don't talk to most of those people anymore, Halo holds a special place in my heart. My old turkey sub name I used to use actually came from an Xbox Live profile I created at my friend's house explicitly to play Halo with him. It's funny, since I've never really considered myself a shooter fan, but the more I think about it, the more good memories I have with these games. I played exactly 0 of them for any extended period of time, but throughout the years I've had brief periods of fun with Halo, Team Fortress 2, and Splatoon. Metroid Prime, while not remotely conventional in the world of shooters, still technically is an FPS game, and that's one of the best games I played in high school. I think the obnoxious younger part of me that was totally born in the wrong generation because popular things are dumb just wrote off shooters too fast. The 7th generation of games where I grew up did have a problem with brown and gray color palettes and derivative gameplay, but that of course doesn't mean the entire genre is bad. So when I started getting that itch to play a shooter, my thoughts turned straight to Halo. I wanted something single player so I could get an experience I've never had before, and what better game to choose than one widely regarded to be one of the best in the genre. And who knows, maybe if I liked it, I could use Halo to get back into multiplayer shooters as well. I mean, surely this time I'd have to be better at shooters, right? Here, watch, I'll do it again. Why is it tracking me? Why is it? What? I've got to commend Halo for its atmosphere and presentation. The game's very colorful, and all the outdoor environments are genuinely pretty. Halo's soundtrack has a very distinct sound. I've got many of the triumphant, string-oriented battle themes that the series is known for stuck in my head now. But something I didn't expect was how well the soundtrack created tension, too. It really gave me Metroid vibes at times. But even though the atmosphere is solid, it goes hand in hand with by far my biggest complaint about the game. I swear, some Forerunner architect left his base design until the night before it was due and just copy-pasted what he had all over the place. Some of these levels are way too long, using the exact same rooms over and over and over again, and it's very noticeable. I have to confess, I didn't enjoy the first half of the game that much. It was fun, don't get me wrong. I had a good enough time going through the first few levels, but I didn't feel that pull telling me that I absolutely can't stop now. The biggest factor for this was the very limited story in this part of the game. It's almost like they were using entirely firefights against the Covenant to draw people in. So that implies I thought differently about the second half of the game, but I simply can't talk about it without spoiling one of the best moments of Halo. So if you want to avoid spoilers, click on the timestamp below. So then, what did I think about Act 2? This game really ascended to another level when the demon popcorn known as the Flood showed up. Before I knew what was going on, I was thrust into a horror level that opened with heavy ambience and a focus on its storytelling to the big reveal of the real threat on Halo. From that point onward, the game changed. The story really came to the forefront, and it turns out Halo's lore and story is actually really compelling once the game remembers that it has to present that to you. Each level from this point had a narrative-oriented goal to complete, which is something that captures my attention much more effectively. As Halo got harder, it started to appeal more to the sweatiest, gamer-ragiest part of myself. Halo has a wide variety of weapons, with some very unique creations among the Covenant arsenal, notably the Needler. At first, the weapons felt like a playstyle option, but I soon realized that each weapon does, in fact, have a specialized use case, and those become more apparent once the enemy variety increases with the Flood's introduction. Needlers are great for taking out elites, assault rifles are invaluable against the Flood popcorn, rocket launchers against vehicles, shotgun against the larger Flood, plasma weapons against shields, and so on. I personally liked using the sniper rifle whenever it was viable. At the end of the 8th level, the game decided that my living privileges were revoked. I spent a grueling 90 minutes refactoring my plan, refining my skills, trying out different weapons at different moments, all to finish one large-scale battle. It was brutally difficult, but somehow not frustrating, because I always saw a way to try again, but better, and that became the best, most memorable moment of the game for me. This is problematic. You know where everything is. Jump over the rocket. Is that everything? Is that fucking everything? Oh my god! That took us 90 minutes! That took... Oh! Vehicles didn't quite have the same value as weapons to me. The Warthog was definitely only there to make large levels more tolerable, but levels that used the Banshee as a goal to reach to progress further made that vehicle very fun to drive. And the Ghost had lots of value in choosing how to use it. I'm mixed on vehicles overall since they were fun to drive, but sometimes not necessary at all. That may be my bias speaking though. I'm terrible at driving these. Okay, I need to see what this is. Flip Ghost. I want to get in the Ghost. Oh. I genuinely don't know why I had some light expectations of just coming into this game and being able to hold my right trigger down to win. After playing Halo, especially the second half of it, I totally understand the appeal of first-person shooters. I only played on normal, but that's enough for me to know that on higher difficulties, this game is extremely skill-based, and good god do I love tryharding at everything. I realize that if you skipped the spoilers, you might think that I hate this game from how I've been talking about it. And while I do think there's some flaws here and there, as well as a first act that's full of missed potential, the second act is just so exceptional that it nearly erases how I felt when I first started playing. So, what's my future with shooters then? Well, I can definitely appreciate them a lot more than I could before, and I want to try a little more. I've got Halo 2 and 3 on my shelf for when I want to dive back into the series' lore with another campaign, because I almost certainly will do that at some point. I never got the chance to try multiplayer, but then again, it's really hard to get multiplayer going on my original Xbox, especially while we're still in lockdown. Someday, though, I'll finally not be the worst player in a Halo lobby. This is usually the part of the video where I thank you for watching and ask you for your own opinions on the game, but not today. I'm a real gamer now, and since that means I'm now a violent, deranged individual as far as conservative boomers are concerned, it's time for my most heinous act yet. I am not thankful you watched this video, and I think you're stupid and dumb. If you want to be less stupid and dumb, you can come by twitch.tv/Quintic for more epic gamer content. Now, get out of my sight before I say additional slightly hurtful things.